It's for us. Go to school, get a house, get a car, get a job, make kids. Not like open a business, make it. What is going on, beautiful people? It's your boy Bixie. Welcome back to another video. So today, guys, we are reacting to why a $100,000 salary can't buy the American dream. Let's just check it out, man. I'm really curious what American dream
More than half of
$100,000 can
Americans
buy.
say they would need at least $100,000 a year to be financially comfortable.
The benchmark of a six-figure salary used to be the gold standard income. It represented the tipping point of finally earning a disposable income and building a savings, spending based on your wants, not just your needs.
The American dream is what makes a middle-class lifestyle. You're able to pay your bills. You're able to put food on the table, put a roof over your family's head, and you have some additional savings.
Now, people making well over six figures are still living paycheck to paycheck. What used to symbolize financial freedom is now keeping people stressed about making ends meet.
26% say they would need more. A salary in the range of $100,000 to $149,000 per year would make them.
Do you think like you can live an American dream with a salary? Like with a 9 to 5 salary, actually. Do you think you can live what 9 to 5 job can you work for you to live an American dream? But then it has to be digital, some digital works like not digital, but then something that involves electronics or something like that, man. Actually, what I'm trying to say is jobs that like fall under the application developments, maybe app developers, programmers. App developers are programmers, actually. Programmers, hardware engineers. Oh yeah, man.
Them feel financially comfortable.
I think unfortunately what has happened is that wages haven't kept up with the cost of living by and large for the last 50 years.
And the cost of living is really high,
increasingly hard for
really high.
to be able to attain that sort of middle class lifestyle, that American dream.
How much you need to feel financially secure varies so much depending on not only your geographical location, but of course your lifestyle. It used to be that a six-figure salary was like the gold standard, but nowadays that may not be enough to make ends meet in certain parts of the country, especially like New York or San Francisco, where it costs so much more just to cover your daily expenses.
Damn.
That's why a $100,000 household income no longer buys the American dream.
Bro, the cost of living is really high, bro. Imagine after 10 years how the world will be. Will the cost of living be high or be low? Because things are really like appreciating year by year. Things are going up. You're in trouble here.
Go Banking Rates analyzed how much a family of 2 adults and 2 children would need in each state to own a home, a car, and a pet, as well as have an additional 20% of their income for savings and 30% for discretionary spending.
A pet.
The core of what the American dream means is some amount of economic security, that you feel like you can get by and do a bit better. Maybe do better than your parents, maybe be able to afford a house, certainly be able to save for your children's future.
All 50 states require more than a $100,000 annual income, with 38 states needing more than $140,000.
Damn.
The most affordable states, Mississippi, Arkansas, and Kentucky, need between $109,000 and $117,000. The median income for a household of 4 people in each of those.
Why are they cheap? Okay, not cheap, but then why is it easy to live in these places? Is it because it's not that busy, or what's happening?
States in 2022 was between $71,000 and $87,000. Hawaii, California, and Massachusetts are the most expensive. Each requires an annual income of more than $240,000.
Nah, man, this place is dark. This is what we see on the social medias, bro. For us who are living in South Africa. Now, back in the days, the dream was to live in New York. It was to go to New York. Right now, the dream is to just go to Miami, dog. Miami. If I can just get to Miami, I just know that I made it. Or Hawaii. I just know that I've made it, bruh. I see California, yeah, but then yo, these two places.
Dollars. The median income for a family of four in those three states in 2022 fell at least $94,000 short of what's required for the American dream. A different analysis from EPI found that in about 80% of the country, a family of four can afford their basic needs on less than $100,000 per year. Those include things such as housing, food, transportation, healthcare, childcare, taxes, and a few other basic necessities.
It doesn't take into account anything extra. It's really just putting food on the table, putting a roof over your head, getting health care for your family. And so you're not saving for a rainy day if something happens to somebody or if
Imagine if you have like 5 kids, which is like you will be spending millions, dog, hundreds of thousands.
they lose their job. So there's no extra in there for retirement, for kids' college. Those are the kinds of things that many people want to save for. Those are the many things that people consider a part of the American dream.
Only about 3% of those counties have a median income higher than the basic cost of living.
The idea behind the American dream hasn't really changed, even though lifestyles have. It used to be that you could get out of school, get a job, buy a home, and start a family, and now those milestones are harder to achieve.
It used to be that a high school degree, you're good to go. You could get a great job building cars or something and be right in the middle class off of a high school degree. But now, in order to get into the middle class, a high school degree is clearly not enough, right? Now, you gotta pay for college.
People are graduating with much larger student loan balances, and then it's harder to be on that same sort of career trajectory that would provide the stability that you maybe would have had a generation ago to save up for the down payment on a home.
Student loan debt reached an all-time high of $1.77 trillion in the first quarter of 2023. This can have a ripple effect, especially when entire generations are starting their adulthoods with thousands of dollars in debt.
So when you think about the kinds of investments you want to make for your children, the cost of college has gone up a lot faster than overall inflation. So trying to make those investments on a smaller and smaller paycheck compared to the cost of living can be very difficult and almost impossible. And so the kinds of debt that young people can rack up going to college gets large.
Nah, man. I think, according to me, but then this is the public knowledge, dog. Schools are designed for us to be like to live in the middle, to fall under the middle class. Actually, it's for us. Go to school, get a house, get a car, get a job. Make kids. Not like open a business, make it a successful business, like be on the top of the food chain. But then, anyways,
Larger and larger in your ability to then make ends meet yourself, be able to buy a car, be able to move out of your parents' house. Those things become much more difficult over time.
The American dream typically is people owning property and having children, but that's becoming largely inaccessible.
why is she saying that?
Is people owning property and having children.
These people live on a property and having children. This is the American dream. Having my kids in America, having my house in America, like living my life.
Things are finding themselves managing every dollar coming in and out just to stay afloat.
Imagine how much it costs living a leveraged life. Not imagine how much it costs like living a luxurious life, though. A classical life.
Trade-off is underlying the new cost of the American dream.
Millennials and Gen Zers still want to buy homes despite feeling like they can't afford it. 62% of younger millennials and 63% of Gen Zers still say owning a home is part of the American dream. 66% of U.S. renters surveyed say rising prices leave them feeling hopeless about ever owning a home. 72% of respondents say they can't afford the down payment. 17% of all homebuyers said that saving for the down payment was the most difficult task in the buying process, and 52% said student loan debt delayed their ability to save. The typical first-time homebuyer in 2022 had a household income of $95,900. Nationally, a prospective homebuyer would need a nearly $110,000 salary to afford the principal, interest, taxes, and insurance payments on a median price home. But the median household income in the United States in 2022 was a little under $75,000.
If you're born to a nice
Damn.
neighborhood, and
Damn,
your
damn,
parents
damn.
have lots of wealth and lots of income, your chances of doing well are vastly improved. And part of that's home ownership.
Collectively, Americans owe $1.13 trillion on their credit cards.
Yo.
Inflation, it's eroding people's
Yo,
purchasing
yo.
power. It's reducing their
Imagine how much rent is that? $1 trillion. And yo,
ability to save for their future or invest in these long-term goals. So that loss of financial stability can create a sense of powerlessness and insecurity and contribute to feelings of uncertainty and vulnerability. It can really impact people's self-esteem, their resilience, their overall psychological health.
Economists have suggested that debt growth became a substitution for income growth. More than a quarter of Americans said that they are doom spending or spending money despite economic concerns.
There's also this idea that young adults are feeling more discouraged in their own financial standing. So in that way, they're less inclined to even save for long-term goals and more likely to just live in the moment. It's just sort of that mentality, like you only live once, I may not buy a home anyway, so let's take that trip or let's go to that event, whether it's a Taylor Swift concert or other, big ticket item.
73% of Gen Zers say the current economy makes it difficult to set up long-term goals.
And it's not just about revenge spending. It's just about wanting to enjoy life and make the most of what you have, even if you can't necessarily buy that home or, you're not starting a family just yet and you really want to, feel good about yourself in the moment.
People are indulging to the extreme, and I think we often buy because we think that it's going to change our life or it's going to give us this emotion that we feel like we're missing, and it's like an endless trail of spending and constantly going to make us feel empty because we're externalizing something that we need to give to ourselves. I think that's a big issue with consumerism, and it's running rampant.
Social media has changed the
damn,
conversation
that's facts.
so much because there's just been this abundance of the ability to see these glamorous, glorified lifestyles. It's not only celebrities that are presenting themselves this way, but even your own peers, which makes a lot of people feel like they're just not measuring up. They can't financially compete with what they're seeing online. It has left a lot of people, especially young adults, feeling very discouraged in their own financial standing. Even if they're doing okay, they just may not feel that way when they compare themselves to what they're seeing on social media.
The question is,
social media, dog, plays a huge role into a standard of
Are
living.
you able to have opportunities that are the same as those of people who may have been born into families that are in better circumstances than your own? The American dream is all about it shouldn't matter. The birth lottery shouldn't matter, right? So it's deeply relative.
Anyways, it's your boy Bixie, man. I'm out.